Well, in fact, this is something strange to me, because when I went around the country, conducting the closed door sessions of briefing dedicated to my grassroots, delegates and non-delegates alike, they have the right to ask, they have the right to know, and it is only fair to keep them updated and better informed of the real scenario. And even if, in relation to the current issues following the expulsion of Dr Chua Soi Lek, well, I'm of the view that I remain steadfast to my belief that it is only fair for us to have a heart-to-heart talk with our own members behind closed doors, especially in dealing with our own MCA family problems. And why should we do the so-called the alleged bashing of our parties? Because in each and every session that I mentioned about, I have never noticed Dr. Chua's presence. And I don't think it's right or appropriate for any one of us, especially a politician like him, who is seasoned enough to know that it is inappropriate and unethical to a certain extent, to make allegations based on hearsay. And as far as I'm concerned, I remain issue-centric. Issue-centric. What is right, and what is wrong is wrong. And I don't believe in, as I said earlier, I don't believe in washing the dirty linens in public. And that explains why I chose to talk to my grassroots behind closed doors. Just to cite one parallel example. Now, when I had my heart-to-heart talk with non-party insiders, for instance, like people of certain profession or certain fraternity, and sometimes they want to speak up, they want to speak their minds. Now, that is different form of town hall meeting. Now, I would always oblige to do so behind closed doors. And it is only fair that we give people ample opportunities to speak their mind, or even to express their frustration, agony, or apprehension. And sometimes that might be quite mind-boggling, or even sometimes it might be quite hurting as well. But it is good to do that. And I see no reason we must resort to bashing, bashing of third parties, including UMNO or whoever. Because I believe in problem solving and not be part of the problem. Well, of course, I think he's entitled to his view. But end of the day, it is the result, it is the outcome that would speak louder than any mere allegations. In particular, allegations made by certain interested parties within their own cocoon. Which I would liken this to burying the ostrich head in the sand. Because, you can see very well that now we have been issue-driven. For instance, like, just to cite a few examples, the HOPE program, the TRAIN program, as well as the, for instance, like the most recent initiative that we step up, and that is the nationwide initiative to help those who have been longing for their citizenship, for instance. It's not that today we jump onto the bandwagon. Well, actually, we have been doing that nationwide. And we even have a task force to follow up and follow through. Yeah? In addition to the specific cases involving the foreign spouses. So all this, you need to have a lot of coordination, a lot of hard work. And on top of that, things like, say for instance, legislations, or even some of the prevailing the government policies or whatnot. We have our policy research. And it's not only that, we are playing a reactive role, but rather, in many instances, we come up with our own set of proposed solutions. Yeah, after speaking to the various social strata or professional groups. We have been doing that. And of course, when a person like Dr. Chua, when he chose not to get himself involved, actually everybody is invited, town hall meeting or whatnot. But when you choose to insulate yourself, there's nothing much we can do, to compel you into doing something that you choose not to.
He's saying that a lot of events he was invited but he didn't turn up.
Yeah. And even if, sometimes, of course, this you can choose to put on record or otherwise. Well, and even if he were to attend, he might just attend for, say, half an hour, then he leaves. And then people will start speculating,
In CC and PC.
In fact, even PC not that conspicuous, but what I mean to say is some of the initiatives involving, say, outsiders, And then when you leave, of course, people will start speculating. Hey, what went wrong? But CC and PC, for instance, when you are part of the team, and you make the collective decision after debating, deliberating some of the points raised. Actually, many a times his points, some of the valuable input. In fact, we accommodate them. Agree to disagree. That is the name of the game. And after having reached consensus, for instance, then he would choose to speak otherwise in his own separate press conference. I think that has somehow rather ruffled the feathers of many other CC members or even Presidential Council members. To me, there's no such thing as personal agenda or personal vendetta in dealing with CSL's issue, because, as I said, his issue was not created by me in the first place. The sex scandal, the DVD, all this took place before I was elected as the president. And of course, he has been arguing that he was duly elected, popularly elected by the delegates. But don't forget that me too, as the president, I was popularly elected. So are the other CC members, the Central Committee members, including the Presidential Council members as well. And when the decision was made to endorse the disciplinary board's decision to expel him, that was a collective decision. And how could he or anybody argue that this is one man's decision?